All right. It's that time. It's Sunday here on the East Coast. It's time for another episode of ShopTalk, America's first and favorite two-wheel motorcycle talk show. And man, are we glad to be in the studio. I'm glad to be anywhere that doesn't have anything to do with Christmas shopping right now, because Jesus, I was at the stores today. That is no joke, man. There's people ready to kill each other over presents. So, Deal Stereo, Chris, my wife says we may come out in January to see the family. I might be getting a visit from my boy Kieran. That means, you know what that means, Mark? He's going to be bringing the pork roll, baby.
Oh, boy.
Bringing the pork roll. Who's in the house tonight? Nick Hildebrand in with us, Bagger Bader here, Ken Ruples. Good to see all you guys, man, here on the last show that we have before Christmas. And you know what we said last week? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Bobby Shackle in the house. That's good that you're here, because we got a surprise lined up for you. Hey, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know that you're still alive. Blink twice if you need help. We know what that means. We're getting ready for another episode of Shop Talk. There's enough time for you to get a drink, kick back, and relax, and let your friends and neighbors know we're going live with this one in just 3 minutes. John Palmer in the house. Big D checking in. Ruben Barella, cut it out. All the way from Pueblo, Colorado, man. Great to see you here, buddy. So lots of good stuff going on in the studio. We're working on tons of new content for Cycle Source TV. We're going to be talking about some of that tonight. We're launching a program this week that we started working on in Daytona 2 years ago, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Bama Odom in the house, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Outstanding. Woohoo. Just outside the Pine Barrens here in Jersey. All right, man, stick around. We're getting ready to fire this one up. What'd you say?
Went all Peter Brady.
So we're gonna know, right? Well, no, you know what happened, man? I was in the kitchen today making my grandma's vegetable soup. I finally got the recipe right, nice. But I took a great big spoonful of it to try it out, and it was hot as shit. I burnt the whole back of my throat. I thought I was gonna die. I'm in the kitchen choking to death, and she's like,
"Are you okay?
This is when you know you're in trouble with your wife, when she goes, Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm like, I'm choking, gasping for my life, and she's like, don't die.
Instead of giving the Heimlich maneuver, she runs and checks the life insurance policy.
Oh my God! Look at that! Merry Christmas from Ireland.
Nice.
That's so awesome. Benny's in the house here. Steve Westner checking in from Central Indiana. So many good people tonight, getting ready to celebrate this last show before we have the Christmas break. But hey, no break for us. We're coming back next week with another show, and we got a killer guest lined up. How about it? I'm hoping he's lined up. We'll see how that goes. 53 seconds, and we're going live with this one, man. Remember what Heather says. Sharing is caring. Xavier's in the house. Shut up. Texas.
Merry Christmas, Hob.
Representing.
Say hi to Emily and your mama for us.
Yes, sir. Texas in the house. Indiana in the house. Pueblo, Colorado is here. Arkansas is with us. It sounds like it's time for a show. 26 seconds and we're going live with this one. I guess that's enough time to get it out of the station and up on the track. Let's go live with this week's episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It is just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for us to get this one launched. We got an episode of ShopTalk kicking off right now. As soon as I can get that thing to shut the hell up, Big Ricky's in the house. I couldn't get to the buttons fast enough so that I could tell Ricky what's up. So good to see you here, buddy. Hey, listen, it's Shop Talk. It's right before Christmas. We're pulling our hair out just like you are. I'm Chris Callen from Cycle Source Magazine. I'm going to be your host for the next 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. And I am joined by my crew who has also successfully made it through the mall traffic to get in the studio tonight.
Merry, happy.
Where are all these people at? I don't understand why there's so many people out on the road.
No.
It's. I thought we were all shopping online now.
Go home, for Christ's sake.
Jesus.
I do.
So
I even had my groceries delivered.
Shopping for what?
stuff, Mark.
Oh.
Stuff.
All the things.
So here's the thing that's funny, right? Everybody is in red alert because Amazon announced that there's no more shipments. If you haven't already placed your order with Amazon,
Ain't making it.
you're screwed.
That's terrible.
Right?
Like they are supposed to be your savior. Like, oh my God, I forgot Aunt Bev.
and Amazon had a little message for you. It went like this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, how fast can I crochet?
Yeah, right.
So Benny Stauber was riding today. That's bullshit.
Oh, wow.
Gary Dubois is
Nobody
in
likes
the
to
house
show
with
off, Benny.
us. Hey, Gary, we got some stuff coming your way, man. Get ready for all of us.
I'll be calling you.
It's
this
winter
week.
time. Here we go. Shit. Lots of stuff going on in the studio, and just glad that we're coming around to the time of year to actually settle down, spend time with family. You know, I hope you are too. I hope everybody is going to take advantage. You know, we've been saying this for a couple weeks now. Take advantage of that time with your family, man. All the rest of this bullshit.
Don't kill them.
Yeah. Yep. Unless they burn the broccoli raw because it stinks the whole house up.
Well, that's a whole other story.
So great guest tonight.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we have a brand new addition to the Cycle Source family, and I don't know how to feel about it because in some ways he's better at this shit than me, and it it unnerves me. You know what I mean? Like
he just does things differently. He's not better.
He's
just
good.
does things
He's
differently.
good. This cat we're bringing on tonight has started doing tech videos for Cycle Source TV, and the way he does it is bitching. It makes me think back to the days of when we were watching skate videos and shit. More.
Oh boy.
Yep. Good stuff. So lots going on. If this is your first time watching Shop Talk, we appreciate you being here. Every Sunday, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, we go live through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio that they leave the door open just a little bit in the backside of the building. We sneak in,
Backside.
do the show the best we can, and then run out. What is Shop Talk if you don't know? It's 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. We bring on a guest or two. We have some products. We look at feature bikes. We start the whole thing off with a program we call
Jazz hands?
Done news.
Jazz Hands.
Wow. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Jazz Hands. First up in the news, not Jazz Hands. No.
What is like?
Jazz hands?
Oh my God.
Well, everybody knows
Mark,
what jazzy hands is.
what's wrong with you?
It's Monday.
This is news that comes in about Harley Davidson. Everyone knows about everything that's going on with Harley Davidson. The whole corporate structure is shook up. And now, under new CEO, Harley to require office workers to return to Milwaukee. Can I get an amen?
Can I get an
For
amen?
that one.
About damn
going
time. I'm so happy about that.
If you guys are not familiar with this, the story behind this, that building that you see right there, there's one of the most iconic images that you'll see in the entire history of Harley Davidson. That building has sat empty for quite a many years now. Since COVID, everybody went home and they didn't come back, and
What a
that was
shame.
how it sat.
I think it's great.
Harley Davidson now announced that white-collar employees who live within 50 miles of the historic Milwaukee headquarters will be required to return to working on site, starting with 3 days a week in March of 26 and increasing to 4 days by September. New CEO Artie Stars has launched this initiative, and we can't give you enough credit, buddy.
Yeah, bring it
I'm
back.
gonna like this guy for sure.
Yeah.
I already do. I haven't even met him yet.
Yeah.
And you know, man, like this is the thing about it. When you talk about it, we are lucky to know enough people within Harley Davidson that we've talked about this at length. Like when the building sat empty year after year, you know, the recurring comments that you hear are, with that goes a certain amount of the corporate culture. You know what I mean? Because let's face it, living in Milwaukee, you are steeped in that culture. Everywhere you turn, it's about Harley Davidson. It's about, you know, hardworking blue collar people from the Midwest and the, you know, that town and what has been built around.
Yeah,
well, and not only that, but the economy and the hit that the economy in Milwaukee took, because it is a working class blue collar town. When all those people, when that building stopped being flooded with people, with workers there every day, that economy took a major hit.
Yep. It'd be like taking the water out of a New York bagel, you know, using water from Jersey instead of New York. Yeah, I think that culture, those people are what they're what made. Well, again, hey, if you like the New York bagels, you know what I'm talking about. But that culture, those people in that area and their lives, they bled for that dealership, and it's empty. Give those people those jobs back.
It's going to be so nice to go back there and see life in that place again. It was so sad. We'd go by and it was just empty and dark and there's nobody.
Well,
in
the worst thing
lot.
would be, like, you know, during the anniversary years, you go up there and you see people from all over the world standing and taking, you know, arms around each other, taking pictures in front of a building that was empty, and you don't have the heart to tell them, like, hey, look, nobody even works there anymore.
Right. Yeah, so sad. So sad.
Yeah, they made it to an empty building.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, it's
like bagels.
It's a good thing. It's a new day for Harley Davidson. Along with the return mandate, Harley is consolidating key operations, including Livewire Group and racing team offices at the main Milwaukee campus, and activating unused spaces like parking lots into event areas, underscoring strategic focus on Milwaukee as its corporate and cultural anchor.
That's the key right there, man. The cultural anchor. Yeah,
that's it too. I mean, it doesn't make sense for them to have the ability to not only feed that area again, feed Detroit again, but bring the nostalgia back to it. You know, and like Heather said, hopefully this CEO is driving in the right direction. Sounds like he's making a difference. So
see what he just did there? He's got football brain.
Detroit. You said Detroit.
Oh yeah, well I'm sorry. I actually watched the end of a football game today for the first time in like 8 years.
I know, right?
Yeah. Milwaukee. Sorry.
We've got a lot of great people in the
great people
in the chat here. Have you seen this? We've got
Mighty Quinn is here.
Oh boy.
Javier, Dave Grunkley.
Hey, real quick, man, I want to tell you guys about it coming in from our own Cycle Source Magazine news blog. The vote is now open. So if you're not aware, since 2007, we perform a function in the motorcycle industry where we ask all of you to give us nominations on 1 month, and we scoop all the nominations together. The next month, we launch the vote based on your nominations, and that has all gone down, and now we're starting to vote. So you can vote for the best ofs. We're asking for the best motorcycle of the year, the custom of the year, the builder of the year, the man, woman of the year.
All the things. And
I
think it'll take you about 5 minutes to complete, but it's a good chance to give a nod to the people that have made a difference in the industry this year. So
yeah, and it's a really big thing. Like once a year, we get to take a minute and just tell everybody that we acknowledge their contributions.
Yep. I dig it. So head to cyclesource.com. It's right in the top menu. You can't miss it.
So our friends over at Motorcycle Power Sports News bring us the story that it started.
Oh boy.
Buell has finally started to begin deliveries of the Super Cruiser. The long-awaited Super Cruiser is on its way to customers. After clearing the last major regulatory hurdles with the EPA, sorry, had to do it, and CARB certification, Buell started delivering its highly anticipated Super Cruiser to customers, marking a major milestone at the brand's resurgence. Buell Motorcycles, get down, baby.
How many people do you think are at their window right now pulling the curtain back a little bit?
Is it me? Is it me? Is it me?
Did they hear a truck?
Is it me? I can't wait to ride this motorcycle. I'm excited for the company. I'm excited for them to get to regain their footing and to match the anticipation with some real street report about what's going on with the bike. So good for Buell, man.
Very exciting.
Yep.
Very
exciting. It's about time. Let's just say that. It's about time.
It's about time. Don't say it like I put. Don't listen to him, Emily. Don't listen.
What?
It's about time. I
said Emily.
Let's get this on the road.
Okay, Power Sports Business brings us the last story in our news. This show before Christmas. Trumpet. Yeah, I'm an old biker. You got to excuse me. Triumph expands its 400 range with new flat track and cafe racer models. Look at them sexy dogs right there,
buddy.
They actually are a pretty good looking bike.
Yeah,
they are. Triumph has added the Tracker 400, a track-inspired bike, and the Thruxton 400 Cafe Racer style to its 400 range for $26.27, broadening the appeal of entry-level offerings, Motorsports Newswire tells us. Now, this is, pay attention here, Harley Davidson, because all the good stuff that you're doing, Triumph considers these entry-level motorcycles. Mm-hmm. That's how you make an entry-level motorcycle.
Yep.
You dig?
That's it.
Yep.
And especially like, Thruxtons, anybody who's ever thrown a leg over a Thruxtons, those things are always fun as hell. So they both boast upgraded engine performance with enhanced versions of the 398 cc TR series engine, boasting peak horsepower of about 42 and delivering strong top-end performance compared with earlier 400 models. Retro styling, lots of performance. Like I said, hard to beat this as an entry-level motorcycle. Pay attention.
Completely agree.
That's it? Completely
I agree. I concur.
I think that's all for our news.
Did they say what the price point was? Did I miss that?
I didn't get it in my show notes, but
sorry.
Show notes?
I have show notes, dude.
Show notes confuse me.
I do the show notes. I'm sorry.
I know.
I told them I don't read that much in a month.
Doug Baumgartner.
Dougie Fresh is in the house.
Dougie Fresh.
What the problem is?
Everybody's here tonight. Hav is here.
It's a party. Is something going on? Am I missing something here?
So those motorcycles are in at about $6,200, $6,295.
That's a good starter.
Yeah,
that's not unobtainium for a lot of people.
And I mean, like I said, when you look at this motorcycle, that's how to do an entry-level motorcycle right there.
Most definitely.
It's cool looking. Yep. I like it. I like that one, actually.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think that's cool.
Yes, sir.
So
Tom Kiefer in the house?
Did we ever get an answer on who's the guy that polishes and buffs and irons and does the makeup and hair and stuff for Doug and Brian?
No.
We know.
I wanted you to bring this up yourself, go ahead.
So I noticed. I noticed that like, dude, I've never seen Doug that clean. Like, would they run him to a car wash before that? His boots were they kept shining so much I could hardly see him. I mean, he looked. I almost hit on him. I was going to call him and ask him out.
So Mark's talking about last week we had Doug Baumgartner's chopper,
and what a great bike.
And but the week before Brian, his ride or die, his bike was featured, and between the two of them, there wasn't enough hair jelly or shoe polish going around that day. They were both cleaned up. They were sharp.
Dude,
they were
dapper.
I
have to say,
effing pristine.
What I loved about that so much is that they took it seriously and they were honored to have their bike videoed and photographed for the pages of a magazine. And you don't get that a lot anymore. People are so nonchalant and cavalier about that.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm biased because, of course, Cycle Source, but it is a big deal. It is our magazine, but it's a big deal to have your hard work
to be featured. Yeah,
that's always been the hot watermark.
That's history that you're just making right there, and they took it so seriously, and they came correct. Yep. And I give them a lot of credit for that.
Well, from the inside,
you youngins take note.
Yeah. From the inside, Brian just said, "Hey, Doug, now that you're all polished up and cleaned up, get the fuck back in the shop. Shit needs shined up."
Right? It's wintertime, and we're all waiting on shit.
I think he just said to get your shine box.
Actually, it was
go
more
get
like
your effing shine box.
Actually, you was so busy.
Oh, Brian, Doug's gonna be mad at you.
Gelling your hair, you got to put gas in it,
dude. And again, something that bike is so clean and so pristine that he had to dress up to sit next to that thing.
That's right.
That thing is beautiful.
Yeah, his bike made him look cool.
Both of them. I mean, Brian's FXRs. I've loved that thing since the first time I've seen it. So those two there, they're killing it. But you gotta bust their balls a little bit. Those two are staples.
It's like a shiny new nickel. There's Poppy. Yep. Poppy's in the house.
Hi, Poppy.
All right, so listen, man. Speaking of cool feature bikes, we're gonna go look at one right now and take our first break. When we come back on the other side, we have our guest this evening, Jason is in the house from Subculture Garage, and we're going to talk to him about everything he's doing now with Cycle Source TV. But you guys don't go anywhere. You're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network, and it's Christmas.
Crazy.
Almost.
Did you just have a stroke?
Don't go anywhere. Let's check out a bike.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
Bobby Shackle from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. This motorcycle is a 2005. Started out as a Road King custom. It was meant to leave it stock for something comfortable to ride. And that turned into fairing and lowers and a stereo and a custom paint job and wheels and everything else. The fairing and lowers are from JD's custom cycles. They went on really well. The stuff was a pretty good quality. Just needed some high build primer, sand it all out. I smoothed out the inside of the lowers by hand and just to make them a little more presentable. The front fender's from Clockworks. That's their level fender. Beautiful quality, bolted right on, no issues. Oh, it's a huge difference. It looks way better. It just kind of flows with the rest of the design. The pipe is actually kind of thrown together. It's a Vance & Hines muffler that I cut down to make it as short as possible on I believe 09 head pipe. So it's just kind of something thrown together, but it works. Yeah, that's the Arlen Ness, what do they call that? Velocity 45 or something like that, the intake. A lot of the parts for this bike I got used. You know, different deals, trade this or something like that, you know. The floorboards were from a guy at work for super cheap. The wheels I got from another friend of mine. New, used, brand new, but never been on anything, but still 12 years old. The floorboards and pegs are from Flow Motorsports. The brake pedal is kind of custom made. I cut away the factory pedal and fabricated that to go on it because they're for a newer M8 style bagger. The audio system, it's a Velex 300 watt amp and Rocker Fosgate speakers. Sounds pretty good. It's good enough. You can hear it flying down the road. We got a Clockworks flare windshield. I had that. I think they put that on in Daytona a couple years ago. The paint. Really close friend of mine, Ed Hutchinson, did this out of his garage at home. Ed was the tool and die maker for Harley Davidson in the York plant. And he's built custom bikes his whole life and was a painter and you know, outside of work. And I called him up when I knew I was gonna be painting this bike. And I asked him, I said, you know, because he wanted to retire soon. I said, you have another paint job left in you? And he said, I'm only doing what I want to do. And I said, well, I want flames. And he said, well, you're lucky because I like flames. I'm Bobby Shackle from Palmyra, Pennsylvania, and you're watching Cycle Source TV.
In a world full of ordinary, there's still a place where motorcycles are built with soul, where craftsmanship matters, where every bike is a story waiting to be told. And in 2026, Cycle Showcase St. Louis returns to where it all began, the pageant, the original home of this now iconic show. every machine hand-picked, every build a masterpiece of design, engineering, and passion. It's not just a show, it's a gathering, a chance to meet the makers, hear their stories, and feel the heartbeat of true motorcycle culture. Motorcycles, art, community, all under one legendary roof. Cycle Showcase St. Louis, February 7th and 8th, 2026. Back at the pageant. Celebrate the art of the motorcycle.
I'm Nick Trask, Trask Performance, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Oh, nice. Paul Yaffe product, huh?
Yeah, man, so excited.
Got a new build?
I do. It's. Aren't you Paul Yaffe?
No, I've never met the guy. But I do know you can get all of his products at DennisKirk.com.
There you go.
Is this me? Awesome. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Listen to Not Paul Yaffe. Get all your Bagger Nation products right now at DennisKirk.com.
All right, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, and you are watching Shop Talk going into the next part of our show. Glad to have you guys here just before Christmas. I can't believe we're all going to make it.
Isn't it like 4 days away?
That's how close it is. You can hear the cash registers ringing.
Tomorrow's cooking day. That's what tomorrow is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, I need half days this week. I'm only working half days. I'm working 2 half days this week. Sorry.
Are you going to call yourself and call off? Is that what you're going to do?
I'm just saying.
I'm not feeling real well. My car won't start.
You know those cookies you wanted? They're not going to bake themselves.
So, listen, we have a great guest here with us tonight. And like I said, he does a very, very good job with the stuff that he does, so much so that I'm like, man, I got to step my game up. Even when we first brought him on to Cycle Source TV, he does an announcement video and like outdoes us. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Hey friends, this is Jason from Subculture Garage Works, and I'm beyond excited to announce that I'll be joining the ranks of content creators on Cycle Source TV. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Cycle Source, they've been around for decades, and they're one of the best.
That hurts a little bit, Jason. It hurts a little bit that we. It's true though.
I think we just found his nickname, Smooth.
Smooth.
Yeah, ooh, that works.
That might be his nickname.
Smooth.
So listen, his program goes by the name Subculture Garage. We're going to talk about why tonight, but let's bring Jason on right now from Subculture and check him out. Mark was so disappointed that you didn't have a nickname written down on
nickname.
your
I was a little
pre-show.
upset.
You know something? I do kind of have a nickname.
Oh, boy.
I didn't put it on the pre-show form there, but
is it better than Smooth?
It's High Roller.
Oh
yeah.
High Roller is my nickname.
There you go.
There you go.
When I was 19, I was coming up with an email address, and at the time I had a Sportster with these super tall ape hangers. So I would be rolling down the road with my hands up high, right? That was I was 19. I thought it was cool. And when I got orders to my first Submarine, I made the mistake of emailing the boat from my personal email. And when I got to the boat, everyone was like, "Oh, you're the motherfucker that thinks he's a high roller." And you know, my coffee cup said High Roller. I got a belt buckle that said High Roller, and yeah, kind of stuck from there.
Okay.
I sort of like it.
I think High Roller wins over Smooth.
I like it.
It could go either way.
Smooth is pretty good.
Yeah, Smooth's not bad, but I like High Roller, and it has a story behind it. So it's not just like you're like, hey, dude, I'm a high roller. It actually has a story behind it.
So listen, speaking of story behind it, let's start with, where does Subculture Garage Works come from?
Subculture Garage Works comes from the fact that I am an active duty submarine officer with the U.S. Navy.
Nice.
Right
That is so cool to me. Like if you guys, I think in every guy's life, there's a time when you're a kid and you think the submarine is the coolest thing that you've ever seen on planet
You
Earth.
go to the old naval yards and did you ever get to do that when you were a kid? Like go actually walk on one and stuff like that?
Yeah, there was a diesel submarine from World War II that was moored in San Diego for a while, and it was kind of turned into a museum, and you can go through. I'll tell you though that the diesel boats from 80, 90 years ago are wildly different than what we've got today. Today they're significantly more comfortable and bigger, smoother, faster, what have you.
I couldn't even imagine.
It didn't really prepare me for the future, but it was a cool experience.
Yeah.
That picture right there is a killer picture.
Oh yeah,
that's actually at the North Pole. That is
no shit.
No shit. Everywhere you look is south. That's me on USS New Mexico. We did something called ICEX 2014. It's a program that the submarine does every other year. We send 2 boats up to the North Pole, and that boat right there, USS New Mexico, the first Virginia class boat to actually surface at geographic North Pole.
Wow.
Super cool. There are a couple other boats that did it prior too, but the actual point on the Earth that is 90 degrees north, the ice was too thick in previous years and they couldn't pop through. But we got lucky that year. We popped through, and we were the first Virginia class to say that we could do that.
Wow.
Super cool.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, so cool. Well, and I love that too, and it makes sense because some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about when we got you on tonight was the way that you approach some of your videos, and first and foremost, I have to tell you guys, like anybody who grew up through the 80s and stuff like me and Mark did, you'll recognize this approach as like the old skate videos, and we always strive for stuff like that because it was familiar when we were kids, but there's almost like a rock video quality to the way that you do your tech videos, and this is one of them I'm talking about right here. See what I'm saying, dude? Like,
where's Tawny Katane?
Yeah, right? You expect Tawny Katane to jump up, or
there's a Jaguar in the background.
There's a shot of Nikki Sixx on the guitar. But I'm saying it's a
smooth flow. It's got a comfortable flow.
Absolutely a great way to do it. But then, when it gets down to the nuts and bolts of how he handles his material, there's a very military way about it. Like that's what the old guys would have said about it. It's a military way.
Yeah, like the time is to the point. I don't know, I think smooth might stick.
Right?
Very smooth.
Now, don't get me wrong, like we do templates and stuff, but I wish someday to be that methodical and that careful about planning things out. And I mean, the results that you get for it are proof in the pudding too, right?
Well, like I said a little earlier, that's really high praise coming from you guys. So thank you very much.
No, absolutely, dude. Absolutely, you're doing really, really nice work there.
Yeah, have you? No offense, honey, but have you watched any of Chris's videos?
I have.
Yeah,
and I mean that in the nicest way.
A lot of times, I tell people like, "Hey, listen, don't do this. I've hurt myself a lot of times doing it this way, and if you can find a better way, don't do it like I'm doing it right now because you'll get hurt."
But on the flip side, he in one of his videos, he made his own tool for the compression. But you'll do that too. Like you have a certain signature that you use on your tank. Made a jig.
I'll tell you what I'm doing after watching his video about the compression tool. I'm gonna make one.
Oh,
because that was, dude, it was brilliant. So I mean,
well, wait, let's also not forget whenever you do something, and normally if the phone rings and it's time to do something, we only have 3 fucking minutes to do it. So let's get that right on the table from the gate. No, he does. He has a super clean, cool approach to stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And again, the video, like you were saying, because I've only seen a little bit of it. The video is very, you like cut right to the point. There's no wasted in between Passover time. And you're waiting, like you said, you're waiting for that one shot of like some chick in a corner to be dancing or some dude to be jamming. Yeah, like it's a really clean, crisp video.
Well, and some of the stuff that we were saying about what Heather was just talking about making tools.
Yeah.
You know, this is an example.
If you're going to disassemble or reassemble a Harley-Davidson cylinder head, you're going to need a valve spring compressor. You can get the name brand ones that are very high quality. They're going to run you about $250. There's also some knockoff made overseas versions. You can get those on Amazon or eBay. Those will cost you about $120 to $130. I went to Harbor Freight. I got a large C-clamp that cost me $8. Then I went to a local hardware store. I bought a socket, 13/16 of an inch. That set me back $5. I used a cutoff wheel to chop a slot into the socket, and then I welded it to the C-clamp. So for $13 and about 20 minutes of my time, I have a perfectly functional valve spring compressor. This is what I use to disassemble the heads prior to sending them off to get powder coated, and this is what we're going to use to put them back together.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm making one of them shits.
Oh my God.
That's
So-
awesome.
I understand where your passion for motorcycling comes from. What made you decide that you wanted to share your process with people? Because that can be intimidating for a lot of people.
That's a really good question. I think we're seeing a lot of at-home builders making a lot of videos and putting them on YouTube and Instagram. And, there was a part of me that, I love watching those videos. And there was a part of me that thought, this is the exact same stuff I'm doing anyway. What if I just started filming it and putting it on the internet as well? And, it's not about competition. It's not about getting more views or more subscribers or anything like that. It's about participating. It's about joining that community and sharing what I'm doing with other people so that, ideally it'll inspire them to do projects of their own. And that was really the motivation behind starting Subculture.
I applaud what you're saying, but knowing this and knowing even today, I sat down today and I was going through some of the comments on some of my videos, and some guy, it was something stupid, and maybe he didn't pay attention to something that I did earlier in the video, but he called bullshit on something. And I just sit there and I'm like, son of a bitch, man. And people are super critical about stuff at times. So like Heather was just saying, it takes a lot of courage to say, okay, look, I'm going to do this in front of God and everyone. And, it may not always get the most positive response.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And I think if anyone's thinking about joining the social media motorcycle thing, you just have to kind of grow some tough skin. And I recently made an indicator light panel for Black Velvet. And it's really tiny, kind of out of the way. I mounted it on the motor mount right next to the rocker box. And I put it on Facebook. I'm part of a group called Garage Built Cycles. And I put it on Facebook and I'm like, hey, this was a design challenge for me. I wanted to have a set of indicator lights on this bobber in a way that didn't clutter up the lines and whatnot. And about 90% of the comments were pretty positive. And then you had the 10% that are like, oh, you need indicating light. You need an idiot light because you're a fucking idiot.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
There's one guy that started talking and all of his grammar was way off, like misspelled words. And like, I couldn't quite make out what he said. But apparently he was calling me stupid for needing indicator lights on a bobber.
Oh my God, it was cocaine.
Yeah.
There's a guy, I'm sorry, there's a guy that's on our show.
His name is Co.
Every once in a while, COE, then KANE.
Yeah.
That's the guy. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
but
funny.
no,
That's
not
funny.
cocaine. He's a nice
And-
Oh,
guy.
he is. He's funny.
Yeah. And this guy ended up demanding that I remove it from the bike. And that actually made me laugh. I'm just like, this guy, I'm a nobody. I'm just some dude on the internet. Like,
Right.
he'll never see this bike in real life. Like, that's a weird thing to get emotional about.
Well,
You know what I
And
mean?
then when you take it one step further, you'll find out later that he's never actually built a motorcycle.
Right,
and has
exactly.
never
Yeah.
even ridden one. Like
He has
the
a Honda
closest thing
Shadow.
he ever rode was a tricycle when he was 5.
Yeah, there's the
Yeah,
whole
right.
problem for me. I'd film some content, I'd put it on there, one guy from North Carolina give me a bad comment, I'd drive to his house and kill him. So it'd all be over. So there'd be no more. Yeah. It'd be over.
Oh, jeez.
That's funny.
There was a guy not too long ago. When I was building the Viola flyer for SNS, I cut the whole front third of the motorcycle off the frame, and 8 different pieces, and we saved the original wishbone, and put a factory neck back on it and all kind of shit. Well, if nobody's ever done work like this, when you're fitting together fixtures to make up a frame, you have to take it on and off of the frame fixture 100 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was down to, I had forgot to measure where the gas tank mount went. And I was taking it off for the 101st time and completely disassembling 8 different pieces of frame. And I was pissed. And I'm bitching in this video. Well, the guy comes on and he says, boy, if you're worried about putting a simple gas tank tab on a motorcycle, don't touch any of my shit. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm rebuilding an entire 49 frame. Like, it's a little bit more than just the gas tank tab. But you can't say that shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, you can't engage. You absolutely can't engage because I think in the history of the internet, there hasn't been a single time where somebody got in an argument with somebody else and actually won. You'll never, you'll never convince someone that they're wrong.
Oh, that's funny. Does your wife ride with you?
She enjoys riding on the back. Yes, she doesn't ride her own bike, but we enjoy riding together. We'll choose a restaurant that's an hour and a half away and just hop on the bike and cruise. That's our ideal date night.
That's perfect. Yeah. All right, she's definitely a keeper.
She is a keeper. She's absolutely a keeper.
So,
in what you do in the service, did that point you to this? Or, I mean, you have some serious mechanical abilities here. You aren't just some guy that woke up one day and said, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tear the motor on my bike apart. What do you do for a living that obviously gives you this kind of ability?
Honestly, it was the exact opposite. It was the other way around. My history with motorcycles is what led to me joining the service to be a submariner.
Right on.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
I joined the Navy back in February of 2009. And at the time, I was working for a Harley dealership. I'd been in the motorcycle business about 8 years, a little less than 8 years. And, I was passionate about motorcycles ever since I was a teenager, right? My dad brought home a used Harley, and man, I thought it was the coolest thing since Fuzzy Dyke. You know what I mean? It was, there was something about it, the total package. It wasn't just the bike; it was the Harley Davidson mystique, right? The storied history, the tangible effect it had on pop culture, and I was fascinated. So I started reading up on Harleys, learning everything about, the models they built, the bikes they built. All that happened when I was 16. I got my first Harley when I was 17, and I started working for a Harley dealer when I was 18. And I was in the bike business for about 2 years when I decided that I wanted a full-blown career in the motorcycle industry. And I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I thought maybe I could open up my own shop or be part of a racing team or something like that. And since I didn't quite know exactly what I wanted, I figured I would have the most opportunities open to me if I got a mechanical engineering degree. So I started studying mechanical engineering. And when I was in college, I ran into 2 specific problems. The first one being that the engineering department at my school was impacted, right? There were more students than there were classes available. So, when it was your turn to register for classes, if a particular class you needed was full by the time it was your turn, you just didn't get to take that class that semester. Huh. And if that class was a prerequisite for a class offered the following semester, you didn't get to take that class either. And in a situation like that, your whole education could be set back an entire year. Yep. And that happened to me more than once. That happened. So my education was progressing really slowly, and that was extremely frustrating. The other problem that I ran into was just the state of the motorcycle industry at the time. Like, I don't have to tell you guys, like, it was difficult being in the bike business in the late 2000s. You know, in the early 2000s, there was all this glitz and glamour surrounding the motorcycle industry, right? You had Harley's 100th anniversary, you had TV shows like Biker Build Off and Motorcycle Mania, and people were just falling all over themselves to buy Harleys. There was this mainstream spotlight just shining on American motorcycle culture.
Yeah.
And a few years later, you know, all that glitz and glamour kind of faded away.
Yeah.
And you had 2008 roll around, the housing market crashed, the economy took a downturn, and nobody was refinancing their house to purchase their dream bike anymore. You know, in 2002, 2003, people would take out a second mortgage on their house and show up to a Harley dealer with 50 grand cash in hand.
Yeah.
But 2008, 2009, that was a thing of the past. So over the course of a couple of years, I saw my paychecks getting smaller and smaller. And after a while, I really started to struggle financially. And I ended up having to take on more hours at the Harley shop. And I was already fighting limited availability for college classes. And now I wasn't available for the classes that were open to me. And I found myself working 40 hours a week, taking 1 and sometimes 2 classes a semester. And the next thing I knew, I had been in college for 8 years and I was halfway done.
Wow.
So that was extremely frustrating. And I never lost my passion for motorcycles, and I never considered abandoning my education. But I recognized that the path that I was on just wasn't sustainable. And through a series of events, I found out about a program that the Navy offers called NUPOC, Nuclear Propulsion Officer Candidate. And, you know, the elevator pitch for NUPOC is that every officer on board a submarine in the U.S. submarine force is required to be trained and qualified in nuclear engineering. And you can imagine a nuclear propulsion training course is pretty academically challenging. So the Navy created the NUPOC program as a means of recruiting college students pursuing technical degrees, right? Math, physics, any discipline of engineering, they're all welcome to apply. And the idea is that the Navy recognized years ago that people that had that technical training prior to military service historically had very high success rates going through the nuclear propulsion training program. So the NUPOC program is designed to pay a college student a salary just to finish school, right? A generous salary, way more than I was making at the Harley dealer, way more. And, you know, you can apply to the NUPOC program up to 30 months before graduating college. So if you time it right, you can do the last 2.5 years getting paid by the U.S. Navy, right? And it's not just a paycheck. If you get accepted to the program, you sign on the dotted line and you swear into the military right then and there, right? So you get 2 paychecks a month, you get full medical, full dental, access to military bases and tax-free shopping at the commissary. You get all the benefits of being an active duty service member, but there's no training, there's no drilling, there's no uniform requirements. I had 5 o'clock shadow and long slick back hair the entire time I was in college, right? Military life will start after you graduate.
Right.
So for me, the NUPOC program represented a way of finishing the second half of college in a reasonable amount of time. So
that's awesome.
Make a long story slightly less long. I applied to the program, I got accepted, and I finished the second half of college in 2 years and then joined the submarine force after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really outstanding.
It really is.
Using the system
really
to benefit yourself too. That's another.
You know,
trying to.
Yeah. Right.
And this is the kind of story that you want to hear about. You know what I mean? When you think of all the bullshit that flies around back and forth from the left side and the right side today about who should be getting what and who's helping who, and I mean this is a righteous program set up to make sure people are going to succeed. Man, that's awesome to hear about.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you know the service commitment is 5 years from the day you get commissioned as an officer. And at the time, I was 26 years old, and I kind of looked at it in one of 2 ways. If I ended up loving what I did, I could make a career out of being a submariner. I can do 20 years in the Navy. I can retire at 46 years old and have a Navy pension and the rest of my life to do whatever I want.
Right.
Good for you.
And if I hated it, like in the grand scheme of things, 5 years really isn't a long time. The average American works 45 to 50 years before they retire anyway. So if I hated it, I would just kind of white knuckle my way through it. And after 5 years, get out of the Navy and, join the civilian workforce with a cool story to tell. But the real clincher was I was watching my friends graduate college and really struggle to get hired.
Yep.
Right. Remember 2009, the economy wasn't all that great. No one was really hiring. The few companies that were wanted experience. Right. So you'd have these college students graduating with a head full of textbook knowledge and no real hands-on training or hands-on experience. And these guys were struggling to find jobs. And when I'm looking at the NUPOC program, I kind of started looking at it as I would have a guaranteed job for at least 5 years after graduating. Yeah. And at the time, that was huge.
Instead of being a barista.
Exactly. Exactly. A very expensive degree to serve some coffee. So
yeah, exactly.
But man, the proposition of this whole thing just gets harder and harder. The son of a bitch is smart too.
Yeah. I know.
And he knew better. He knew better than to stick with motorcycles early on. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, there's the benefits of the service. I mean, that is a benefit.
Well,
absolutely.
Yeah. Now the fact that he's still quite young. He's 42.
Yeah.
And
43,
looking at retirement within the next 3 years. And he literally has a whole life ahead of him.
Right.
And he's been able to have a career in the Navy.
Fantastic.
And pursue his motorcycle passion.
Yep.
Like,
yes,
man, you're too smart to do motorcycles. I'm sorry.
Say again?
I said, you're too smart to do motorcycles.
Something, I feel extremely fortunate, extremely blessed to have the opportunity to be able to maintain a hobby while pursuing a career that ultimately I did end up loving, right? My first tour on a boat was a difficult tour, but I stuck with it and really, I know it sounds cheesy and there's going to be some veterans watching this right now that are going to roll their eyes, but honestly, at a certain point in my career, I fell in love with submarines all over again. And when I was on the fence about whether or not I was going to get out, I decided to stay in. And, that ended up, re-signing technically would have been for 3 years. But at that point in my career, I had 10 years in. I wasn't going to do a 3-year sea tour without doing a 2-year shore tour, right? Because the shore tours are the good stuff, and I didn't want to eat my vegetables if I wasn't going to get dessert, right? So if I was going to sign a contract, it'd be for 5 years, not 3 years. And at that point, I would have 15 in. And I thought, well, I'm not going to do 15 years in the military and not retire.
Right.
So when I was looking at the possibility of re-signing, it wasn't for a 3-year tour. It was it was doing another 10 years and taking it to retirement.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to get out, I would have had to write a resignation letter resigning the authority that I have as a naval officer. And I sat down about 2 or 3 times to write that letter. And honestly, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I just wanted to keep going. And I decided to pull the trigger on signing a contract, which ultimately turned into me doing, a full-blown career.
No, and I can understand. I think anybody with the longevity in their career like that, whether it be in the military or in motorcycle publishing, there's always a point in your career where you sit down and say, is this what I want to do?
What am I doing?
What am I going to do for the next 10 years? Is this how I'm going to live out my life? And I think everybody comes to that crossroads, sometimes multiple times throughout their career.
I think the only thing I'm seeing there that's missing is the pension, the health benefits, the paycheck every 2 weeks, the guaranteed go to work. Like and there's sometimes the bitter end of it.
I didn't say we were smart for making those decisions.
Yeah.
I was just saying when you've made
How are you with push-ups, Mark? The Navy's hiring.
Hey, you know something? I think 40 years ago I would have killed it, but again, 40 years ago,
40 years ago,
20. If I would have went in, I'm saying 20. I mean, think about it. Back then, I was doing Taekwondo freaking 5 nights a week. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Like that would have been a different story. But you had said it before. It got to the point in your life where it made sense. When I was growing up, there was no freaking college for me. My dad said, you're old enough to push a broom and swing a hammer. Guess where you're going every day? I didn't have a choice. My sisters got a new car when they turned 16. I think I got yelled at for buying a $25 Chevy, 68 Chevy pickup truck.
Oh, jeez.
Like there was nothing on, and like guys our age, well, that's not abnormal. I could have gone into the service, but helping the family, doing what we did. You're smart. I mean, any guy that has the opportunity to research that and make the move, dude, you get a great education. You're going to live a good life as long as you don't, turn yourself into an idiot and do something dumb. Plus, keep your nose to the grindstone.
At the time when we were young enough to actually take advantage of our bodies not being abused yet or anything, we were too stupid and headstrong to do anything that was right for us. They didn't have their heads on quite.
It was a different world back then. I mean, in all reality, my head was right. My family had a great business.
Yeah, you're right.
The problem was, the times changed, and you said it perfectly. Things went from being prosperous to, sweet Jesus, what's going to happen next?
I was thinking about that when he was talking about it. That shit happened overnight, dude. Yep. Overnight.
Yeah, it really did.
And Chris, if you think about it, you've been doing this since 1997.
Yeah.
How many times have you, in your almost 30 years, how many times have you seen that role?
At least three clear and present times over the 3 decades of Cycle Source. I've seen the entire country go into the toilet. I really have. Over the housing crisis, the bank crisis, like COVID. Jesus. Yeah. It's been an interesting 3 decades.
And good for you, because on the flip side of all this, what you're doing is going to help educate other people. I mean, your videos are great. I mean, it's not like you took advantage of any of this and are sticking it in your pocket and turning your back on everybody in general. Like you said, what you're offering is, hey, this is what I've learned. Let me show you something. That's fantastic. Most people would shut the camera off, do it as much as they can, and see how much money they can make off of it. So at least you're giving it back.
And I love it too, because, like I said, I was bringing some of the stuff on to talk about how he does what he does.
Yeah.
And like this clip right here, it's not like he stands there and preaches about stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is one of the things that you learn early on in a 4-cam motorcycle, and the way he presents it is perfect.
Yeah, lame and simple.
Because you can look at pictures of that in the manual.
Yep.
You can read about it. You can even have somebody tell you about it over the phone. But watching it like that is like, okay,
makes
way
sense.
less intimidating now.
Yeah. Yeah, some people can read and can't comprehend what they're reading. You showing them that, and a lot of people are doing that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and you mentioned it kind of has the feel of the old 80s skate videos. I kind of want to reach that same demographic. Right, sort of the younger folks that are taking advantage of YouTube and Instagram, and no disrespect to the current generation, but like they've all got a little bit of ADD, right? And you can't linger too much on a shot. You got to keep it going. And so sometimes I will sacrifice a complete viewing of a particular process or a particular part for the sake of keeping the video moving. And that's something that I've always had some mixed feelings about, and I'm hoping that it maintains the video entertaining without losing any of the educational value, because I want people to, be able to see what I'm doing and then attempt it themselves at your own risk for legal reasons.
No, you're absolutely onto something. Like that was one of the hardest things for me, because we started with video stuff with like GoPro Series 1. You know what I mean? Like when I was going around and people thought I had a hat that was on fire when I was telling them about, you got to check out YouTube. But over the years of doing this stuff and realizing, like, I would be sitting there, editing a video from like Dave Pirowitz or Billy Lane, and I'm sitting there going like, well, how do you cut out anything that any of these guys are saying? But truthfully, it comes down to what you said. It's not just a generational thing that people from one generation or another have ADD. Everybody has ADD now. Everybody has an attention span of like, you got to get me in the first 30 seconds, man, or it's over. So like you're definitely onto it. It was one of the hardest things for me to learn early on was doing that with my videos.
Well, and it's hard.
I still need to learn more.
Well, and it's hard too, because like you'll get somebody like that you really dig and you connect with. And I'm going to use Dougie Fresh for an example. We did a killer interview in Shop Hop with Doug, and Nate, who adores Doug, turned us in an almost 3-hour finished video, and I was like,
and
"Oh,
dude,
hell
listen,
no!"
Doug is my brother,
Doug.
and I was like, "Oh,
I was like,
absolutely not." 2 hours of Doug talking.
He couldn't cut. Like, he was just like, "I love Doug. Doug is the man," and he just couldn't cut it. And Chris and I sat down and watched it. I'm like, "Cut."
But even us, we cut an hour out of it, a little more than an hour. I mean, like, legit, it was still probably too long, but it takes a lot, man. It takes a lot to have that kind of wherewithal.
You have to question: does some of that come from the training that you got? Like, did the videos being that you have, being in the position that you're in, like, do they give you? Is that where you got that from, or is that just your flow? Is that just how you roll? I mean, that's it makes me question. You know, I mean, it might have been taught to you, it may be ingrained in you at this point.
Honestly, I think that's just how I roll.
Yeah.
We've very rarely used training videos in the Submarine Force. We do have some, and we have some interactive computer training where you can kind of go through it at your own pace. But most of what we do with regards to training in the Submarine Force is just read through the manuals, and we'll typically have some sort of periodic training where somebody in a division or a department is required to give training to everyone else, and they just kind of put together a PowerPoint. The ones that are, really trying to score some brownie points will put in some graphics or some animation, but oftentimes it's, we refer to training as death by PowerPoint, and it's just kind of people reading things to us. But, one thing that the Submarine Force taught me was that it is possible to learn a lot of technical information in a very short amount of time. Yeah. And so I will watch videos online, and I'll read through magazines, and I'll, when I built the motor on Black Velvet, I read through the entire motor section of the Sportster service manual. And after gaining what I believe to be enough knowledge to attack a project, I kind of start to think, what would somebody want to see if they had no context prior to this? What are the important parts? And how can I do it in a way that keeps their attention? Yeah. And like, one trick that I'll use is, if there is something that takes place multiple times, my standard is to do it half the time. So, for example, when I was installing the cylinders on Black Velvet, there's 2 cylinders. I only showed installing one of them, right? The other one is the exact same process. You don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the things that I try to do is think through what are the bare necessities that people need to see something done if they don't have any context prior to. But before I do it, I try to learn it 100%. I try.
No, you come off with the confidence of a well-seasoned motor guy. Like, when I watched your motor assembly video, it was like, this cat's been doing this forever. Yeah. So it's
first motor I ever built.
Wow.
And the funny thing about that also is, being able to grab your video and watch your video. I'm the kind of person, which there's obviously a bunch of different people. Some people like the technical, some people like the super advanced. I like Chris said, it's impressive to watch it because it almost makes you want to keep watching it. Mm-hmm. I can read the manual until I rip that thing to pieces and throw it on the floor. Reading that manual will never teach me a thing. I have to literally hands-on it, and to be able to reference, like you're saying, those little important things. Don't want to watch the guy take the 4 bolts out. Don't want to watch the guy grind the edges. Don't want to, you know what I mean? I want to see the meat of it and then get away from me and let me get to it myself. That's what I like about it. You know what I mean? You don't waste the time. You don't waste those little. Chris does the same thing. I'm not saying that you're the only one. Chris is really good at that too. Chris will give you a blam, 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 and then it's done. And guess what? When you got to do it, you just need those 3 blams. You don't need all the crap around it.
Sometimes some of my videos is just me walking around in the shop losing shit.
A lot.
I'm okay with that.
Well, one of the things I really like about Jason's videos is he shows what limited resources he has as far as tooling.
I want to talk about
shop.
that. I want to talk about that because here's a cat, like he said. We established his background a little bit. He's well on his way to being retired with a long career in the service. Obviously makes a good buck.
So he apparently hates himself. Is that what
has an education behind him. But when you watch his videos, did you pay attention to the tooling and stuff too?
Yeah.
he's making sure that he's showing the regular guy how to get out there and do this stuff, man, because that thing right there, I have a $3,000 machine that does that. You know what I mean? I'm lucky to have that machine after all the years that I've been doing this, but this does that work just as well.
Yeah, and I think that's proven the point. For all those years, we didn't have any of this stuff. It was all done with torches and stick welders and hammers, and it's nice to see, like you're saying, it's nice to see these guys go at it with layman's spoons instead of,
and I think, look at a beautiful set of handlebars he makes for this motorcycle. And when you watch it, like seriously, doing it with tools
you can do it
that
yourself.
Are completely obtainable for anybody that has an interest in garage life.
Right.
Thank you. That's really one of the goals of the channel. I want to show what various processes of building a bike from scratch from the perspective of an average Joe in an average garage with tools and materials that are readily available. Yeah. That's kind of the mission statement of Subculture Garage Works.
Yeah, you don't need a CNC machine and a $40,000 Snap-on toolbox.
You are so...
It helps, but no.
You are so ruining my game
help,
right now, Mark.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't help, though, because like you're saying, you're doing it without it. It really, and we kid around all the time. I have a set of, I have a bunch of Snap-on tools. I have a huge Snap-on box, and I have a set of Snap-on wrenches that were $850, and I can go to Harbor Freight and get Icon wrenches for $100. I haven't touched my Snap-on wrenches in 5 years. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? You don't need that brand name tool. You just need the knowledge how to use the tool so you don't break it and you can reuse it again. So, yeah, I think that's probably one of the best lessons here is you don't need a billion-dollar garage to do what you want to do.
Like I said, Mark, I don't know why you feel like you have to be so mean to me tonight. Especially Christmas is right around the corner here. You
got no new tools for Christmas this year. I'm sorry. No new tools.
I hate to say this. The last thing in the world I need is another goddamn tool.
No kidding, right?
Jesus.
So we just recently moved back from South Dakota to Pennsylvania. So we had to pack up Chris's shop twice
again
in 2 years.
Yep.
We had a 26-foot box truck, and 75% of it
was tools.
Was tools.
Yeah.
Was tools. Yeah. And and we had left because we kept our house in Pennsylvania. We had left the milling machine and the lathe in Pennsylvania, so it's not like we had to move those.
Yeah, the compressors, the sandblasters.
And we still, he's so fortunate to have the tooling he does. Thank God for the barter system.
But a lot of it was the same way that you're talking about, Jason. Like, I got to a point where my need to learn these things, like that's what drove Mark and I got started in all this stuff because we were gearheads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We love being in the garage. We love doing shit. And somebody said, hey, we could probably get into the parties for free if we took a camera with us and had a stripper sit on a motorcycle every once in a while. So we were like, okay.
Worked that perfect.
But as time went on, man, and you just keep pushing to learn more, and you get opportunities to do stuff. And
let's not forget one part of that too. For us, the learning that, you were, we had to do all that, but on the flip side of it, it wasn't just a fact of it looking pretty. Like we showed that starter bike here. Those things are fantastic for me till I get to third gear. Then I want to step off of and get a cup of coffee and get on something I'm almost going to kill myself on. And that was our problem. We wanted freaking speed and power. Yeah. And I'll never forget working at the strip club. Chris shows up one day and he's like, dude, I don't know many crazy people. You need to take this freaking bike for a ride. He said, if anybody's going to go kill themselves on it to see what it does, I get on the bike I have on. He's 150 pounds heavier than me at that point. He was big back then.
Yeah,
I have his helmet on. I have his jacket on. I come out of that club parking lot and started up the hill. And when the wind caught the jacket, it shot the helmet right over my face. I was doing probably 120 mile an hour coming into the first bend, completely blind. That was where that passion, that's what we wanted. Dude, and it cost money.
It was so good. It was so good. That shovel head had 98 foot-pounds of torque at 2,500 RPM.
Yeah, still got that.
What was the displacement?
100 inches.
Yeah, 100.
It was the S&S Sidewinder kit that we took out a little bit, but Jim from Megaflow was a mad scientist, dude. And it didn't stop at 98. It had 110 foot-pounds of torque.
There was no top end.
But at 2,500 RPM, it already had 98 foot-pounds of torque. It was nuts.
It was shearing the rear hub bolts off. Yeah. He kept saying, I don't understand. I don't have any power on any power. I'm riding next to him. I'm like, dude, your chain's moving, your tire's not. I said, so we need to make an adjustment here. We still have that motor. So, but the point was
Thunder Valley Cycles,
learning that, showing them how to have the tools to be able to take this stuff apart and get to that point. That's huge,
and that's the thing. We talk about all the time. You hear people in the motorcycle industry ad nauseum talk about bringing in the next generation, reinvigorating the core, and all these marketing slangs and shit that they throw around. Nothing makes people more excited about this than living it like that, putting your hands on something, creating
doing it
something.
yourself.
Being a part of the stuff like the stuff that you're passing on, dude. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, thank you. I 100% agree with the idea of the best way to get passionate about it is to just do it, to get your hands dirty. And Chris, you mentioned something about developing the mechanical skills just out of need, right? Out of necessity. You were wrenching on your own bikes because you wanted to keep experiencing the bike. You weren't content to have a bike sitting broken down in the garage. And I think that's the best kind of motivation. You know what I mean? Because if you're not doing it to be passionate about it, if you're not learning the skills so that you can keep your bike riding, like, what's the alternative? Like, you're doing it for the attention, right? You're doing it to get internet views or, to impress people or something like that. And, that type of motivation doesn't last. It's very short-lived.
So what's next for Jason and Subculture?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think short term, finishing off Black Velvet, right? I think the finish line's in sight. I'd like to get it painted and fully assembled, registered, insured. I'd like to see it on the road by springtime.
And we absolutely have to have that in the magazine.
Oh, absolutely.
Like 100%.
I would be honored, just so thrilled to have something like one of my bikes in your magazine. That would be amazing.
Well, I think we might be able to make that happen. I know somebody.
Do you know somebody?
I know a guy.
Absolutely. We don't like him, but we know him. I mean, we could make a call.
Once Black Velvet is done, let me back up a little bit. My plan with Subculture is to build a bike from scratch, film the whole process, make a bunch of videos out of it. And when I'm done with that project, I'll sell it off and then use the sale to fund the next project.
Oh,
and ideally the channel will just kind of keep itself self-sustaining.
What are you doing with it? Say that one more time slowly for me.
I said I'd like to finish the bike, sell it off, and then use the sale to fund the next project, and then just kind of keep the channel self-sustaining.
Did you hear what he said?
I know where she's going.
Did you hear what he said?
Chris, did I get you in trouble, man? I'm sorry.
He's gonna sell it so he can build another one.
We didn't get Chris in trouble. He just got Heather's hopes up a little higher, but it's not going to
work. He's still young, honey. He's still young. Hey, listen. Tell me about this lady here.
Oh, that is my beautiful wife, Katie.
Yeah.
She is amazing. That's us at Submarine Birthday Ball 2025. And she's the love of my life. She is a very accomplished businesswoman. She runs a swim school, and she has been teaching swim lessons in some capacity ever since she was a teenager. And her educational background, she's got a bachelor's in child and adolescent development and a master's in educational counseling. Wow. And between her education and her experience in the water, she's able to reach a demographic that, the YMCA and the local swim clubs just can't quite do. She has a number of special needs students. One of my favorite stories is that she had a 12-year-old autistic boy who was afraid to put his face in the water, and she had him off a diving board in 3 lessons.
Wow.
And so, being in a military town and having a lot of military clientele, word of mouth spread like wildfire. And in the last 6 years, her business has exploded. She has, I think, 14 instructors that work for her now. She has a business manager and a media manager.
Wow.
And just this past month, we opened up a brand new facility. We bought a warehouse and turned it into an indoor swimming facility. We dug a pool and wrapped all the walls with these cute cartoon undersea, fish and turtles and things like that. And I am just so incredibly proud of everything that she's been able to accomplish. And like I said, in the past 6 years is really when the business has exploded. And I mentioned 6 years because in 2019, that's when we started keeping track of the clientele with a website. And in those past 6 years, she's had over 4,000 students go through her program.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Kudos like I said, I couldn't be more proud of her.
Very nice. Very nice.
Do me a favor, man. I want to put this picture up on the screen. Do I have the right picture? Is this your dad in the middle?
No, that's not my dad.
Okay.
Both of those guys are gentlemen that I worked with at Orange County Harley Davidson. That's John on the far left. We called him Johnny Bones. Right, he got a little bone paint job on his bike. The guy in the middle is Jay, and the three of us worked in the parts department at the Harley shop. And I believe that was New Year's Day, 2004. We all went out for a big ride starting in South Orange County and ending up in Malibu. That's actually the Rock store in Malibu.
Oh yeah, that guy's from Pittsburgh. How about that?
Yeah, he is.
So the reason I was asking if that was your dad, I saw at the end of one of your videos, man. I was hoping I had a picture in here somewhere to bring up so that you'd talk about it.
It's the motor video. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, dude, it was so cool. Like that's a thing that people don't understand so much when they look from the outside into the motorcycle culture that they don't get. Like the stuff that matters to us, the way like life matters to us. Things matter. We take the time to honor each other and family and passing time and everything. And you're good shit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, I owe all my love for motorcycles to my dad. He was the one that got me involved in it. I still remember the bike he bought, a 94 Ultra Classic, like not typically the type of bike that appeals to a teenager.
No, not at all.
But there was something about, just that whole Harley Davidson mystique, and he loved that I loved it. And my dad and I grew up pretty close, from the get-go. He was always kind of my best friend when I was a little boy. But to have something else that we could bond over, right? When we wanted to do father-son days, he would just throw me on the back of that Ultra Classic and take me to a dive bar, which my mom hated, but that's what he would do. If I wanted to go out with my friends and I needed a couple extra bucks, he would just be like, "You want to make $20? Go detail the bike." And yes, sir, we'll do. And I'd polish up his bike and, hang out with my friends with some extra money in my pocket. So he really fostered what would eventually become the thing that I'm probably most passionate about in my life, which is motorcycle. Second, obviously, to my wife and my family. But he fostered that passion in motorcycles, and I will be forever grateful for that.
Right on.
That's great.
Right on, man. Hey, listen, all you guys, I want you to take down a pen right now, or actually Heather's going to put the link up so that you can just click on it and go over and give a follow to Subculture Garage Works on the YouTube thing. And pay attention because, like I said, this cat is doing work that makes me want to do the shit that I do better. So you're definitely going to want to follow him. Of course, he's over at Cycle Source TV also. As much of this content as we can work in, we love getting different perspectives from other builders and other content creators, man. But you see, 4 episodes of the Black Velvet Bobber is up, and you're gonna dig it. So go over and check them out today. Cycle Source Magazine, Cycle Source TV, on Subculture on YouTube, and keep watching for more stuff coming, man. Hey, listen. Thank you so much. With everything going on with the holidays, I imagine this has been hard for you to make the time to come on with us, dude, but I appreciate it, Jason.
Well, I very, very much appreciate you guys having me. This has been a blast.
We have guys that are asking if that bike's going to show up in Daytona. Do you think we'll see it in Daytona?
That's going to be hard. Mainly because of my Navy schedule, right? By the time Daytona rolls around, I will probably be on my next set of orders. I don't have written orders yet, but I have verbal confirmation. I'm going to go to an aircraft carrier and be the staff submarine warfare liaison to Carrier Strike Group 12. Wow. So likely I'm going to be going in and out to sea by the time Daytona rolls around. So it's going to be tough to show the bike then, unfortunately.
Well, like I said, as soon as you're ready, we'll get set up for a shoot for the magazine and video for the show and everything. So we'd love to see the bike. Love to see it in person. Spend some time with you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Welcome to come back on anytime. I look forward to seeing what you come up with next. And we wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy New Year. And I'm again so thankful that you guys were willing to have me on the show.
Anytime, Jason.
All right, buddy.
You
take
so
care,
much.
Man, and thanks again. Have a Merry Christmas.
See you, Jason.
And you guys, pay attention, man. There's some hot talent coming up in this thing. Motorcycling is not over. It's not going anywhere. And as long as guys like him are bringing it out, we're going to follow it and bring it out to you. What do we got? We got something. We got an event to look at.
We do?
Oh, this is something else that's coming out on Cycle Source TV. I've been working on this project for 2 years to get this going. And finally, we're launching our first episode of Barbershop. Here we go.
Lifestyle is brought to you by Law Tigers, America's motorcycle accident lawyers.
Doing something a little different here in Daytona. What if we took an afternoon and just hung out with some of the guys? The American barbershop, like the Americana of it. These places are institutions. They may actually be the last place where a men's social circle gets together and you walk out with a good shave and all lined up good. This episode, we're calling Barbershop Daytona.
He has this bike. He had just finished building a panhead or something for a
Just
customer.
picked it up that day. He had just bought it that day.
Oh, that's it. Just bought it. So he decides that he's going to jump in line and do this head-to-head burnout. And the one motorcycle was leaking fuel, but they had pulled it up first. The motorcycle was leaking. Put the panhead nose to nose, and Jay decides that they need to go back into the center of the stage. So it was sitting there for a while. They moved back. The panhead is in a puddle of fuel when they start doing this burnout, and Dakota hits a button on his bike and shoots 30 foot of flames out the back of it. Well, that's the bike that's leaking. It shoots the flames onto the ground, lights the gas, and it's like a fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon. The gas takes off across the stage, hits that puddle of gas from where it was parked, and the whole panhead goes up in flames.
Dude, the fucking top of the pole.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the rafters.
Yeah.
Like, we used every fire extinguisher in the joint.
I have the pin from the last one that finally put it out.
Oh, dude, you should be wearing like a chain, dude. Dude,
that was the craziest thing that's ever happened.
How this man has a hair on his head at all.
Dude,
When this young fella in the overall dungarees gets up here, we need to straighten up that porn mustache you got going on.
You gotta lose the porn stash.
Oh no. How often? See, now this is where it gets fucking hot.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Look
dude,
at that.
I can fucking rock a Unido, bro.
I dream of Gino.
Right?
That's like, should you do a man bun?
Aquaman? Mimosa. Mimosa.
What's that?
I was gonna trade spots.
No.
Where's the blade? I need the blade. Absolutely not.
Oh, so we all get it.
I was gonna do that, you know, on TikTok, because the Bob is in this, and like, God touches left by his eyes shut. He's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Listen, you can work on any fucking motorcycle I have, but please don't pick up that razor.
One night, I was out riding around with a good friend, and we pulled up to this bar, this biker bar in town, and this girl said, I was just leaving. Too late, you can't give me a ride. I said, fuck that, get on the back, get one of those loaner helmets from the bar. So she jumped on the back, and we took off right near the naval base in Pensacola. And she said, I hate this helmet, I want to take it off. I said, and I had a Sportster tag on my panhead, a gun with no numbers, an 8-ball, and a couple of hits of asses. I was like, no, I don't need any other attention. So
I'm good.
Yeah. So she did it anyway, and she took her shirt off. So I whipped over in this convenience store parking lot.
See this full program now streaming on CycleSource TV through Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick, Android TV, iOS, and Android.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
I'm Mark's alter ego, Big Brian, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Whether riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape, there's a flow to the road you share. So go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Shop Talk. You can tune into this show live every week on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, thanks to our sponsors: Dennis Kirk, Deadwood Customs, S&S Cycle, Cycle Stop USA, Drag Specialties, Twin Power, Clockworks, Law Tigers, Progressive Insurance, Mid-USA, Garage Build, Spectro Oils, Milwaukee Leathers, Tech Cycles, Twisted Choppers, Twisted Tea, Drag Specialties Seats, Iron Horse Saloon, Lone Star Rally, Paco, Toes Performance, and Stevenson Cycle. Thanks for tuning in to America's first and favorite two-wheel talk show, Shop Talk.
All right, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk's Motorcycle Studio. You are watching Shop Talk. We are going headlong into the last part of the show before the Christmas break, man. We're glad you guys are here with us. What a fantastic story, right?
I want to know how he went from she wanted to take her helmet off to she had her shirt off.
I didn't mean that story. I meant our guest tonight. I know exactly how the stories with Roadside go.
Oh, yeah.
No, Jason was pretty awesome. The fact that he's that confident, like that was the first motor he's ever built, and he put it out there for the world to see.
Yeah.
And he just very impressed.
No, I love it. I love it. It's a welcome addition to the channel. And I mean, even as far as what we were just saying about the Barbershop series, Barbershop means a lot to me because, like, you know, you don't have to, everything doesn't have to be about being a tough ass biker, you know, like sometimes just sitting around some of these places, and it doesn't have to be a bar. Sometimes it's a barbershop. Sometimes it's a fire behind somebody's house or something, and we're just sitting there talking shit.
Oh, the stories we heard that day.
It's the best.
That's the best.
We started doing these series. We got one in Daytona. We got one. Me and Big Ricky did one, believe it or not, up in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, yeah, St. Paul.
Yep.
And we did one in California.
Yes.
Wait till you hear the California one, because that cat was like a punk rock legend in California and ended up opening a barber shop. And he's, you know, we're all sitting there talking about all the old days of punk music. It was bitching.
One of the things I think was neat about the barbershops is they're all so culturally different.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Ray and Tony's. Both of them are motorcyclists. It's, you know, a father and a son, and
the
they've been doing
two
it forever.
guys that own the shop in Daytona.
And then
it's a
the
great
St.
shop.
Paul one is Jaime's Haberdashery, and it's this very upscale men's store, but it's in the coolest building that they'll take you on a tour of, and it's got so much history, and it's just
it's funny
such a good
you
experience.
know Rick, right? Like I talk Rick into coming with me, and he's like, you know, it's kind of sort of one eyebrow up, and then when we got in there, he was like, "Wow, look at this! This is pretty good."
Yeah.
Right.
Oh shit!
I love it when you go get lined up.
Oh, it's good stuff, man.
But you know,
it's good stuff.
If I feel like it's a dying art, the barbershop is a dying art. Traditional, for you to find a place to do a hot towel and straight razor shave is getting harder and harder.
So speaking of getting harder,
nothing about that, by the way.
What's that? Yeah, I know. Well, listen, they could do something with that. They could give you a nice Gandalf the Grey sort of touch up.
I don't think anything's touched that in 45 years.
So
a few flames.
Listen, speaking of getting harder and harder, it's getting harder and harder to keep the sleigh bells away, and that means it's probably time for us to start getting towards the end of the show. But before we go anywhere, what time is it?
Is it a time for
It's Heather time.
Shop Talk is brought to you by Cyclefish. Cyclefish, the most complete list of motorcycle events in the U.S.
Okay, first up, the biggest bike show in the Carolinas. Carolina Full Throttle Magazine 2026 bike show at the Greensboro Complex, January 31st. You can get more information at fullthrottlemagazine.com.
Wait a minute. Kittle is here from Speed Freak, and he says, circling back around to the of the year voting, I'm very disappointed Persichetti isn't in the running for man or woman of the year. I would like to write him or her in for both.
No write-ins on the voting.
I'm not allowed to win any, Clint.
Yeah.
I tried. I even sent a picture of me in a dress. Didn't work.
You forgot the high heels, Mark. Colorado Motorcycle Expo, January 31st and February 1st. You can get more information at coloradomotorcycleexpo.com. Cycle Showcase, St. Louis edition, February 7th and February 8th at the Pageant. Be there or be square. You can get more information at cycleshowcasestl.com. Mama Tried Motorcycle Show, Eagles Ballroom in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, February 21st through 22nd. You should be there. We will be.
What the hell? Stop saying that.
Oh my God.
This kills me.
This kills me. February 27th through March 8th. It's just wrong on so many levels. Daytona Bike Week.
You can't say Bike Week at February.
It's February. It's not supposed to be February. It's supposed to. St. Patrick's Day is supposed to be during Daytona Bike Week. At the end, towards the end. It's like, this is just wrong.
Okay, wait. Kittle now back with another comment. He says,
Lord.
"I keep trying to win something around here, buddy, or I keep trying for you to win something around here." He's pulling for you.
I've already won, Clint. You're my friend. I've already won, buddy.
Lying is a sin, Mark. Next.
We got lost on the me and Clint thing.
Tuesday, March 3rd at the Broken Spoke Saloon, Cycle Source Custom Bike Show. I think we have like 25 or 30 classes, but you should be there. It's not going to suck. Chopper Time, Thursday, March 5th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. I suggest you're there no later than 9 or 10 if you want to get a good spot. 100% of the proceeds go to the Veteran Support Fund.
Hey, what? Not a bad spot in the house.
No. Yeah, so be there. Willie Tropical Tattoo. Don't be a loser.
Don't miss it.
So, this is it. It's time for Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
So this
what? And the F was that?
Are you going to play your song?
No, I didn't even load it up tonight. We'll put it out tomorrow on social media.
Okay.
So if you guys were listening last week, we wrote our own Christmas carol.
Mm-hmm.
It's dirty. It swears a lot.
Yep.
Fits well.
It expresses exactly how we all feel about Christmas this year, because Christmas is a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened. Like Christmas spirit just took a shit this year. It really
this
did.
year. You mean about the past 10 years it has, I think.
No, but
we're usually pretty Christmassy.
You can really tell this year, like nobody gives a rat's ass about Christmas. They're just.
I want to go back to the old days where gifts are homemade and you just you play games and spend time with each other.
That's and again, we were talking about before. That's probably the favorite part of of Christmas for me is the food, and that's the only tradition that's ever stuck. So look forward to that over the holidays.
Well, we're gonna try. Chris, please sing it again. We're gonna try to back things up in our own home for this year and focus on spending time instead of money and actually be in each other's company and be present. We suggest you do the same thing. No Merry Christmas banner or anything fancy. We're just going to look at you directly and tell you thank you so much for being here with us for another year. We hope that you spend the holiday in the company of your family, the people that love you, and we will see you here next week when we come back, God willing, with another show, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
You're a ho, 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 Felicia.